Hello everyone, I'm Anton64.
THD, word up.
Lovely, perfect intro for our final commentary of the year. This is Mega Man 6, known in Japan as Rockman 6, the greatest battle of all time!
Or otherwise known as Mega Man the Sixth One.
Mega Man, the search for sequels. So yeah, this is the final NES Mega Man game. It was intended to be the finale of the whole series, but, you know, I guess Capcom took a look at the Super Nintendo and were like, damn son, look at all those polygons, and just made Mega Man 7 and the rest is history.
This guy here, Mr. X, said supposedly he's been controlling Dr. Wily the whole time to, you know, take over the world, but now he's going to do it directly, and I don't buy that at all.
What are you talking about? He seems perfectly trustworthy.
Oh, sure. A guy named Mr. X. Totally worth your time.
Plant Man!
I gotta say, though, as a whole, I actually, believe it or not, I actually played this game ahead of time in preparation for this. Yeah, I know, it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I really do like a lot of the Robot Masters in this game. I think they have really good designs. Some of them have better EXE designs, I mean, you know, Battle Network, but I'll talk more about those. Flame Man, good design. And Classic, and Battle Network, not so much.
A few bits of trivia before we talk about 6 properly. Originally not released in Europe. We limey types and the rest of the people in Europe land didn't get it until almost 20 years after its initial release of the 3DS's Virtual Console.
Why? I mean, they gave you the other games, why not give you the other one?
I have no clue, mate. It was actually published by Nintendo in America. Since the NES was winding down at the time, Mega Man 6 was one of the last games to be released on the console. Capcom, I guess, didn't have much interest in publishing it themselves, so Nintendo picked up the rights and bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, I can kind of see that considering with the SNES coming out, but I have to say, you know, as a whole, I really kind of did enjoy Mega Man 6. I mean, playing it again, it sort of made me realize how spoiled I am by, like, games such as, like, Shovel Knight.
Uh-huh.
Whereas, yeah, this game sort of relies a lot on the old traditions in order to make it more challenging, like limited lives, not really a lot in the way of, like, checkpoints or whatsoever, but at the same time, it's not an especially difficult game, I felt. It just mostly relies on memorization in order to get its challenge, which I never really liked, but oh well.
I like how you say the old traditions when it was still an NES game at the time, but then again, 6 came in the series, I guess they were old traditions.
That's true, and the SNES was coming out, so there you go. Or it was out already at this time, yeah.
I have to say, I actually, as kind of like throwaway as it is, I like the setup to the game. Like, it's a world event where the best robot masters from each country try to compete to see who is the best. Do you know what that reminds me of?
What does that remind you of?
Metabots.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
They have the world tournament as well.
I do also really like the setup to this game. It has an excuse for giving us these really interesting kind of diverse robot masters in all of these interesting levels based on different, you know, real-world locations. I don't think the game looks boring, you know, compared to, say, like, Mega Man 5. Like, they really changed it up for this one, and I think it's worked out for the better.
I had a lot of fun recording Mega Man 6. There were some, like, choke points here and there, but on the whole, I was definitely more engaged than with the previous game, but I digress. It's time to fight the first robot master of the game, and wow, it came around quick. This is Flame Man.
Flame Man, very super stereotypical Italian Middle Eastern kind of thing, but
Italian.
I do like his design. I didn't say Italian.
You said Italian.
Well, whatever. Maybe he's Italian on his mother's side of the family, I don't know.
Okay.
Otherwise, he's not too bad. I didn't take on this guy first. Maybe I should have, because, you know, watching this ahead of time, you seem to do a really good run of it, but I know how you like to do, like, a lot of runs of a particular stage to make sure it's as good as possible. I was not as good with that.
Well, you know, I do retake after retake. What you gonna do? This guy, kind of similar to Heat Man in Mega Man 2, I found.
Yeah, like, mostly with terms of the, you know, direct fireball attacks and, you know, the ground waves.
He's fussy. He dislikes using cheap oil. He's also very punctual, changing his oil like 3 to 4 times a day because of his energy source. And see if I can pace this out so I can read my notes. Flame Man's weapon, Flame Blast, is one of Mega Man's moves in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS/Wii U. It serves as his down smash attack.
It's not really that good. I still think they need to buff it a little, but if you time it right after a roll, it can be really devastating.
Oh, that's the one he uses in the trailer, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's how he, beats up all the rest of them. He actually changes both of his arms into busters, which he rarely does because it drains too much energy.
I'm a golf ball on skis!
Yeah, Blizzard Man is kind of stupid no matter what version of him you're looking at. Flame Man in particular, I just wanted to mention this really fast. He was the third Navi operated by the same guy, Mr. Match, in Mega Man Battle Network. First it was Fireman, and then it was Heat Man, then it was Flame Man, then he went back to Heat Man for some reason, I don't know.
I have like a load of trivia for Flame Man, but we're past that now. So the last thing I'm going to say is, each Robot Master in the game comes from like a different country. I'm not sure like if it was stated in the manual for Mega Man 6, obviously I didn't grow up with the series, but Flame Man apparently comes from Saudi Arabia. Blizzard Man apparently believed to originate in Canada. I believe it, I'm part Canadian, I can say these things.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's so diluted, it doesn't even fucking matter.
But, as a whole, like I was mentioning earlier, like I said, I was spoiled, admittedly, by Shovel Knight, I have to realize how much this game relies a lot on memorizing what's coming up. So, the problem is with that kind of system is that you're running without, I save state. I got this on the 3DS Virtual Console. By the way, the buttons are really kind of weird when you're playing this on the 3DS. You can't really charge that well, I found, but maybe that's just my experience. But with the way it's set up, it relies a lot, again, on memorizing what's going on. Because you have such limited lives, like, you really just have to make sure you nail it, absolutely. And it can get frustrating if you're going by that live system. Not that, like, after a while it's hard, but just, that initial... It starts off hard to begin with, but once you get the resources you need, like, the rest of the stages become easier to clear as you go, like, the first time.
Well, it's funny you say that, because Mega Man 5, and especially 6, I found, just throw, like, lives and E-Tanks at you. Like, not even hard to get E-Tanks, they're just sitting out there in the open.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it's especially helpful to get as many E-Tanks as you get. You can still do the Eddie trick, where if he shows up and then you, like, despawn him and then go back in, you can just have him... until you eventually get E-Tanks. I was able to really easily build them up thanks to a copious amount of save stating and continuing after I lost all my lives, so...
Alright, let's actually use these notes I spent all afternoon writing. Originally created to monitor the weather in the Antarctic was Blizzard Man. His meteorological equipment, said it right the first time, was later replaced with a machine that allows him to produce artificial snow using the humidity in the air.
Oh, it's like a Cobra kind of weapon then, huh?
Yes. Blizzard Man likes skiing and has won 3 gold medals consecutively in the Robot Olympics.
They have those? Well, okay, if they have like a Robot Master tournament, then I suppose an Olympics really isn't out of the question.
After the events of this game, he found work as a weather forecaster. Spoilers!
Well, I'm not really surprised there. I'm trying to remember what exactly his Battle Network incarnation looked like. It was probably stupid. It was in Battle Network 5, I believe. He was considered a Dark Lloyd, which was like... Mega Man Battle Network 5 is really kind of fucking stupid when you look at the plot, so just look that up later on your own time.
Very odd kind of mini-boss to have in an ice-themed stage, something that would normally be in the water, although maybe I'm just splitting hairs there.
I had a lot of trouble with that particular mini-boss because of the... missiles that arc towards you. I found that really kind of hard to dodge while having to watch out for the ice blocks it spit.
I had a lot of trouble with the ice physics, personally. Many a retake. In fact, I think the second half of the level was done separately.
I don't think anybody likes ice physics, let's be honest.
Here he comes, descending from the heavens, Canada Man!
Well, maybe he should have skied off, into the screen. That would have been a lot better, I think.
Okay, I'm not sure what rolling into, like, some kind of circus ball has to do with blizzards, mate.
He also has this weird ability to kind of shoot, like, snowflakes at you. Which, I don't know, if I'm gonna go with a blizzard, I'm gonna do definitely more than 4 snowflakes at a time.
Well, they're ice crystals. He's using his powers, his special machine inside him to do that.
Other than that, I didn't really have too much difficulty with Blizzard Man, although I admittedly took him on later on when I had more stuff to work with.
Okay. That's always the way with you. Oh, I didn't have a lot of trouble with this guy. Turns out I had a bazooka the whole time.
Yeah, just a little thing I picked up on the side to help out. Nothing too major. It was mostly my skill, trust me. Blizzard Attack fucking sucks. I hate it. It's a crappy fucking weapon.
Really? I could think of worse.
Well, okay, it's a crappy weapon in this game. Like, when you're using it on the boss it's weak to, it just... it doesn't work out well for me.
Plant Man! Oh, sorry, I already did that. Plant Man? He looks shit! Yes, he does.
Yeah, I know it's you know, you have robot masters from all across the world. Are you really sure you could have thought of something else besides Plant Man? What about, like, Tiger Man or something?
Oh, boy. He is believed to originated in Brazil and the Amazon rainforest. His special weapon is the plant barrier, which is essentially a shield that resembles flower petals. The end.
Yeah, another damn shield weapon.
Designed as a flower, which can be used as camouflage, he was originally created as a keeper of a botanical garden and is said to be able to communicate with plants. Because of his popularity, he became the mascot of the garden, but he's very sensitive and get depressed easily. I know the feeling!
The Battle Network design for Plant Man is actually pretty cool, I gotta say. It's definitely not what I expected when I first saw it, but it's a lot more dignified than the Plant Man in this game, I'll be honest. This mini-boss fucking sucks, too. Like, I had such a bitch of a time with him, because he goes way too close, and then he never backs up, so unless you kill him quickly, he's just gonna get up in your face.
Yeah, there's a lot of those kind of bosses in the early days of gaming, I guess.
Well, I do want to mention, you know, when you had earlier used it, another big feature in this game is the ability to use different kinds of rush adapters.
Yeah, the rush combiners.
Yeah, and you give Mega Man some really cool armor, actually. Like, the one you have is Power Mega Man, and that was kind of my go-to for a lot of the game, because even though it can't charge its Buster and it can't slide, its basic shots are really powerful compared to the normal Buster, and it's pretty good for taking care of enemies as they come to you.
I mostly use it for environmental purposes. I can't really recall an instance of me using it to take down a mini-boss or a robot master, but you're right, it is very useful in certain situations.
Instead of a charged shot, it has a charged punch, which isn't that great, but it's great for taking care of some of, like, you know those sliding enemies you encountered?
Oh, yeah.
That you stopped with the charged shot? The charged punch actually destroys them, which can be really useful.
Oh boy, we're moving into the dickish part of the stage now. Look at this! They come up, that you've got no time to react, and there's springs.
God, I hated this fucking part of the stage. I was just save-stating constantly. I'm like, I fucking hate this. The problem is the springs. The springs, I feel like, you would think when you directly bounce onto them and it compresses, then you would think you would press jump. No, it doesn't work like that. I still don't know how the hell they're supposed to work, but they were extremely unreliable in actually bouncing me up higher when I tried to use them.
It was the timing of the fish that did me in.
Yeah, the fish, like, there's like one section where a fish doesn't come by and you think you're safe, and then one kind of blindsides you. I know it. Probably that one, I think, is where I got caught up.
Yeah. This part is kind of tricky unless you have some Flame Blast in reserve, so make sure you do. Otherwise, you're going right into that drink, my friend.
I do like how you're just kind of randomly shooting, like, ah!
I'm just trying to make it do what it do, man. Okay, let's take on the Flower Man himself.
You got a better run of that than I did, God.
Retakes!
Yeah, that's true, you had the retake. Well, when I loaded a save state, technically I was doing a retake.
Okay, lads, this is our last game. Use every colour in the NES palette.
I'm trying to remember how many colors the NES had in its palette. I know it was limited compared to, like, the SNES, but still. Yeah, this was my problem with here. Because of the weird shooting angle of Blizzard Attack, like, the only way I could find it worked is if I jumped over, got really close to Plant Man, and then fired, and then ran off.
Plant Man's design was thought to be based on the, oh my god, it's a big word, Rafflesia flower, I think that's how it's pronounced, despite the fact the flower grows in South Asia.
Yeah, you probably pronounced that wrong, but I would have too, so...
Plant Man, or the Archie Comics depiction of the character, technically shares his Robot Master production number with Prometheus, a character from Mega Man ZX and ZX Advent.
Why?
I don't know, but it's cool.
It's probably just like a little, you know, kind of Easter egg to look forward to.
You know what's not cool, though?
What's not cool?
Hiatuses.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem. Are they ever gonna actually continue that, or is this just a fancy way of saying, hey, we're canceling the fucking book?
Who knows, man, who knows, but it's a crying shame because the Mega Man comics were fucking awesome.
That's what I hear. I mean, I read a few of those. I wasn't really sure about, like, the events. Like, the one they did where it's Worlds Unite, I believe it was called.
Worlds Collide and Worlds Unite, yeah.
Yeah, the ending of Worlds Unite, I've probably mentioned that before. I wasn't really a fan of that, and I can see why most people weren't either.
I fucking love this stage, because I don't know, I just didn't expect such a thing, because obviously, you know, it's based on America, Tomahawk Man, you know, I guess his creator is American, and it's just like stereotypical cowboys and Wild West, and what I would assume to be Area 51.
Now, you would think that Tomahawk Man would be one of the Robot Masters designed by an American. No, it actually was designed by a Japanese designer, so we can understand why it's super stereotypical.
Now, Beat does appear in this game, and in order to get him, you need to find all 4 Beat plates. There's one in Tomahawk Man's stage, there is one in Yamato Man's stage, one in Nightman's stage, and one in Centaur Man's stages. So, the warrior Robot Masters, essentially. And there's a trick to them. You can't fight the Robot Master normally and finish the level. Oh no, you have to find the secret boss door and beat the real Robot Master. So in this case, the real Tomahawk Man. And when you do, you'll get, you know, the Robot Master power, but you'll also get one of the 4 Beat plates.
I was never really able to get those within the short time I was playing it, and I knew there was always like alternate routes, but I couldn't really figure it out, and I didn't have a lot of time, I'll be honest with you, so I just kind of went straight forward.
That's what FAQs are for, I guess.
That's true. You totally used one, though, so technically I can accuse you of cheating. Jet Mega Man is the other Rush Adapter power-up. Not my preferred, but it's still got a really great mobility option.
I really dig it, actually. It's probably my favourite incarnation of Rush Jet, just for like how useful it is.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, you're not just kind of flying around on your dog, you know? I kind of wish the, you know, the Mega Man cartoons had that ability instead of the whole, you know, Mega Man flies around on his dog. Like, he would actually use him as armor. Then again, if we had gotten past Mega Man 5 in the cartoon, we would have gotten animated base, and that's the last fucking thing we need.
You're still reeling from the bad voice acting in one of the Mega Man games.
Yeah, they would probably just call him Base.
Is that Mega Man 8?
Yeah, that's Mega Man 8. That's the one with the, you know, the anime intro, and it's not dubbed very well because it was the PlayStation and nobody cared about it at the time.
Okay, because I've been watching a few of Johnny's reviews recently. I usually do that to get me in the mood to record, you know, Mega Man commentaries and the like, and, oh boy, less said the better. Time to break this block and, get the game's secret item.
You know what? I could have done this, and I can't believe this slipped my mind.
Well, it's a pretty do-or-die kind of situation.
Yeah, that's true. I was kind of focused on not that.
The only appearance of Proto Man in the game, not part of the story, not part of the climax. It gives us the energy balancer.
I'm kind of surprised that Proto Man was in the game, because this is the first time I've seen him.
What the energy balancer does is, well, kind of obvious really. When you pick up something that will refill a special weapon, it will basically give that portion to the special weapon that has the least amount of power at the given time.
I did not beat the game with the energy balancer, so that made things even more annoying, so I would recommend you get it.
I felt kind of bad about not getting the special items in, I think it was either Mega Man 3 or 4, so I just wanted to make sure, since this is the last of the NES Mega Mans and, you know, the last Mega Man commentary we're doing this year, I got everything in the game.
Well, that's good. You know, it's something to close out your little challenge on, because, you know, you wanted to challenge yourself to all of the NES games. I still think you should take on Mega Man at base, because that would be hilarious commentary material, but at the same time, that game hates people, so...
Well, maybe you should take on my punch to your face challenge.
That's not a very good... Is that like the Ice Bucket Challenge? Is this for charity?
Look, alright, it just rhymes with Mega Man and bass, and we're recording this in one go. I'm doing the best I can here. You're going to want to take the bottom path, where the whole thing splits, if you want to get the beat plate here.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, get the energy balancer and double back.
I think I got the jet adapter, like, way too late, like, after I had beaten this stage, so... I did not do it in the ideal order, I admit.
Well, let's take a look down at my notes here. Unlike the other 7 Robot Masters from MM6, Tomahawk Man was built purposely for the first annual Robot Tournament.
Oh, really? He's kind of focused a ton on combat, it makes sense.
He's weak to plant barrier, and his weakness might be a reference to the fact that flowers are a symbol of peace, since Tomahawk Man was built exclusively for fighting, thus being a symbol of war.
He will fight no more forever.
Okay, we're just going to finish him with the Mega Buster. Kind of embarrassing, but what are you going to do?
There you go.
Mega high, mega die.
I don't really feel proud of this accomplishment.
Standing here, all alone.
Well, I'll take your power anyway, I suppose. Gotta put it to good use.
Boo whip! I love this little animation.
Yeah, it's pretty good for the time.
Silver Tomahawk. It kind of goes in like an arc, so you see that it's going slightly up, so you've kind of got to be careful how you aim it, or you'll find yourself running out of ammo/power very fast. Alright, 4 down, 4 more to go, so we'll see you next time for part 2 of Mega Man 6. Bye bye for now.